Hello, yes, hello. I just watched something that made me want to say something. Do this. Sorry. Yeah, you know that Megyn Kelly. Man, I can't stand that woman. Unfortunately, there are many like her out there. Not just in America, I believe, but especially over there. Yeah. The problem with America is that them being separated from this world here, they don't have the same sensitivity or even sensibility to look at these things, such as the war in Gaza or Israel that's happening right now, really like with compassion and, the way it should be, as impartially as possible. So, while now people are dying by the thousands over there, children are being killed, the hospital, you know what's going on. I don't have to tell you what's been happening. Really dreadful, dreadful things lately. Now, actually, for almost 2 months soon it will be. So, what does her mind concern itself with? It's the anti, as she called them, the anti-Israel protesters that have glued themselves to the street and they won't go. And then she asked, "What shall we do?" Like who? First of all, who are we? All right, who are we? And a second, even most important, this is what you are asking. This is what you are preoccupied with, while so many people are being slaughtered. Like, oh man, this is just, unbelievable, appalling. Like, all the fuck, all the goddamn, sentiment, that, yeah, nobody should, criticize Israel because they are, the ones who are being, you know, in danger or whatever, in that area, Middle East. Yeah, right. Come on. Really, really. I mean, how fucking naive do you think we are? Because you play naive. You know how much weapons, how much power they have, the military power. And you know it goddamn well also that it was your president, Truman, who is to blame for all that fucking mess that has been going on for how many years now? 75 or something. Yeah, 75 years. It's his fault, right? I mean, first of all, when you create a state like that state was created, totally illegally, artificially, it is an abomination of a state. All right, that's my opinion anyway. The state of Israel is an abomination because it was created at an expense of people who already were living there for like over 1,000 years, you know, and who also were really sick and tired of being ruled by other people, whatever it was, Persians, the Ottomans, the English, you name it. And they wanted a state of their own, of course. Palestine, but no, they didn't get it. Instead, they had to find themselves being second-class citizens in a state that didn't even bear their own name, which was made to accommodate people who hadn't been living there for so many years, fucking over 1,000 years. It's just, I mean, don't you see the ludicrousness of that whole situation, that whole existence of that state is so unnatural. So fucking unnatural. I mean, you can't pretend this is fucking 2,000 years ago as you fucking idiots. You know, 1948 was not, you know, 400 BC, whatever. What the fuck? I mean, what the fuck were they thinking of, really? I mean, using the what happened to the Jews in Second World War as an excuse to make a state that was so un, unequal, unequal in so many ways, where non-Jewish people were treated like nothing really, like filth, more or less, you know. And yeah, they say, yeah, it was first, the Palestinians that started the war in 48. Yeah, well, can you really blame them? Really, come on. They were trying to, you know, get justice for themselves, right? In any way possible. So when they saw that the Western powers were not on their side, I don't know if they ever were, but, you know, the problem is maybe if the British had been still, the ones in charge deciding about these things, maybe, I don't know, but maybe it would have been, a different story. But no, instead it was the Americans, won't say anything else. It's just bloody unfair what happened. But to return to this time, the present, to this present, people like Megyn Kelly, it is kind of, almost, I don't know what the right word is for this. It's absurd, For one thing, she actually supports Trump coming back to power in the United States, right? While Trump, on his side, on his part, was good buddies with Putin, right? Yeah, who then is not at all pro-Israel. He's not at all. Never been. Russians. Not the whole history with Russians and Jews and all that. I mean, non-Jewish Russians, and that whole history is not good between them. Never were good relations. So this is kind of another ludicrous thing. Kind of absurd because people don't know how to make priorities, to put it that way, anymore in politics today. It's all a big fucking mess. Yeah. So I'm not saying that Trump's friendship with Putin was the cornerstone of his, whole administration or whatever, his whole reign, but it was a very important part, I guess. Yeah, I would say, yeah. So if you want Trump back, then you cannot go on and like have your heart bleed for Israel while at the same time, attacking people who are criticizing Israel not because of being, Jewish, of course, but because of what they do, because of the war crimes that they have already done and now are doing in a larger scale than probably ever. Not unprovoked, of course, yeah. At the same time, I gotta say, not, but aside from all that Hamas did, yeah, they are also to blame. Let's not let that be clear. I think so, but also when you wage war against civilian targets like Israel does, then you know, you are you have no claim to be considered the right side. You have no claim to say that you are fighting a just cause, you are doing, justice, you are this and that, fighting terror or whatever, and terrorism. You are now a war criminal. You are a war criminal side, all right? You are. So that's what, for instance, in 91, in Croatia, that's what happened, when, well, anyway, I don't want to go there now, but, you know, I can't compare it. I can't draw comparisons to what Milosevic, he was like, he started the whole war over there because he claimed he wanted to protect the Serbs living in Croatia. But then, you just, raise the whole town, down, like you order shelling of hospitals and schools, and so of course you can no longer say you are doing it for the good of your own people. So that the same goes for Israel. You cannot no longer say you are just protecting and defending your own people when you are attacking hospitals. All right. Yeah, if it had been just about them going after Hamas, finding the right targets and all that, yeah, all right, no problem there. You have to, do you gotta do what you gotta do, right? But why kill so many innocent people, like, in the process? So it's clear it's all about hatred, and yeah. But yeah, when these people in America, certain people go and complain about those who are being so-called anti-Israel, Israelites, whatever. No, these people are not anti-Israel. They are people who are anti the war in Gaza. What's going on right now in Gaza? They are against the action of the Israeli army, actions, and their leadership. All right, it's not the same as being against the whole country. Like, it means you are against every single person who is Israeli, right? So yeah. So I hear so many people who shouldn't be really talking about this are talking about this now because they don't have much knowledge. They are not qualified, and they are those who are most often talks stuff like this. Like, yeah, they should not attack. Like, nobody should speak against Israel because they are our allies and yada yada. You know, but they are not really focused on what's going on, obviously. Or either that or they are just haters, they are just, very biased. Yeah, definitely. So the same goes for this woman, Mrs. I think I don't know, Kelly, whatever. If she's married, I don't know, probably is, but yeah, she's been like barking a lot lately about this stuff, and yeah, sometimes she's right with certain things she says, but often I don't agree with her. And And I think Americans should shut the fuck up about this if they don't have anything, you know, any kind of sympathy for people in Gaza, the Palestinians. They should shut the fuck up, alright? And stop fucking defending Israel all the time, alright? Yeah, alright.